Hey, hey, what's going on, y'all? You know, once again, it's your friend, man in 100 grand. Garcia. You know, just chilling, chilling in the truck, just on my lunch break right now, and I want to talk about the importance of prayer, the importance of why we should pray. Now, keep in mind, I was atheist at a certain point. I lost faith in God at a certain point. I've had so much loss and pain in my life. I'm sure y'all can see that from some of the previous videos. But where I found peace is with God. And I know it sounds corny. I know it sounds I know it sounds like, yo, here comes another holy roller and all that. Trust me, I get it. I get it. I used to think the same way until life beat me up, you know, because life has a tendency to do that. If you don't have any type of moral compass, if you don't have any type of direction, positive direction in your life, it's most likely because you have a life that doesn't have God in it. I can't believe these words are coming out of my mouth because I never thought I'd be speaking this way. I used to think, yeah, the Bible and all of that is garbage. Yeah, it's like some story time, fairy tale stuff. I can't see God and all that, so he don't exist. Oh well, if God is so great, then why do so many people suffer? I used to think I was the smartest guy in the room asking all these questions. But, you know, through trials and tribulations in life, I found out that we as mankind don't know anything. We don't know anything. And for so long, I've given in to the ills of this world. I've given in to the temptations of this world. I've given in to the sin of this world. And it's so easy now. It's so easy because it's everywhere. Evil is everywhere. Sin is everywhere. It's it's so easy to live a wicked life now in a world that's chock full of evil. And anybody that has any type of decent observational skills can look around and tell that it's bad in the world today. It's bad. And so this is how I feel. Before I leave the house in the morning, I will pray. Like, I will pray hard, man. Every morning before I go to work, I get up and that's the first thing I do. Because it's almost like you leaving the house with armor. That's how it feels. I feel personally, once you leave the walls of your home and once you step foot out the door into this world, that it's nothing good. I mean, it's very little good out here in the world. It's a million ways that people will run scams on you, a million different ways you could die, a million different ways for anything positive that you have to be taken away from you. It just feels that way once I walk outside of my apartment, you know? And so what I do when I pray, it gives me peace of mind. It gives me peace of mind because I know I have a relationship with the divine. It lets me know that I have a relationship with God. you know? And And to be honest, I think that this is probably the most at peace I've ever been. I'm sorry if I'm tearing up a little bit because, you know, life tendencies, life experience has, a tendency to do that. But I'm not crying because I'm sad. I'm crying because I finally found God. Like, for real, found God. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. And it's real. I'm not playing around. And it took so much loss. It took so much loss for me to truly find that God exists. It took so much loss. I can't begin to explain how many people in my life are no longer here. I can't begin to explain how much evil, how much bad stuff I've overcome, and how I'm no longer the man I used to be. And it's mainly because I've gotten in contact with God. Now, your relationship with God is your relationship with God, and you don't know. I don't know what you've gone through, the trials and tribulations that's going to bring you to Him. But you know the trials and tribulations that you've been through that leads you to God. You know that, if not anybody. It's only a relationship between you and Him. Here's the thing, I'm, as a man speaking, you have to humble yourself before the Most High. And the reason I say that is because, keep in mind the hierarchy of God, man, woman, and child. Not saying that anyone in that hierarchy is less than, but that's the hierarchy of, of the family structure and what's been working for us for hundreds, if not thousands of years. It's God, man, woman, and child, And here's the thing, who does man get his direction from? You damn sure shouldn't be getting direction from yourself. You should be getting direction from God. Because it's like, without direction from God, it's like roaming the earth without a GPS. You don't know where you're going. But ever since I started developing a relationship with God, it's crazy because I feel like I'm safe wherever I go. I feel like nothing bothers me. The opinions of man don't bother me. The ills of this world don't bother me. I have zero interest in hooking up with girls or any of that like I did when I was younger, following evil and all that. I have zero interest in a lot of this hedonistic stuff that's out now. It's like, if it doesn't align with my divine purpose, and if I feel that God's not leading me to that, then I want no parts of it. You can have the champagne and the wine and the girls and the expensive clothes and the jewelry. I don't need all that. All I need is God and family and loved ones. In the end, that's the only thing that matters. The only thing that matters. And I don't know when some of y'all are gonna find out, but I hope that y'all don't find out on your deathbed. You're still alive. You're still not too late. You better form that connection with the Most High, man. I don't know how and why I'm saying this, because I've been like pretty much an atheist for the longest, but now that it's like a total 180, you know. And it's crazy how life works like that sometimes. But I think it's very necessary to pray now, and you have to pray for the right reasons. You have to literally have a genuine connection in your heart to God, and you can't be selfish. Your prayers and what you ask God for has to come from a genuine place. You can't pray for anything that has anything to do with greed. You can't pray for someone's downfall. But it is what it is, And I think personally that it's necessary. I feel like when I pray, it's like no matter what's going on in life, whether I'm in debt, whether I got my heart broken, whether I got in a car accident or anything, no matter what's going on, it's like when I pray, I feel like everything's going to be all right regardless of what's going on. It may not be all right in the sense that I would say, but it would be all right in the overall scheme of what God has planned. I really feel like I'm just like I don't have many people around me. Once I started, asking God to lead me toward the right path, a lot of people in my life were eliminated, and now it's just me and God. And I think that's the way it's supposed to be right now, anyway. And no matter who comes into my life or what comes into my life from here on out, I know that my relationship with God should never change. And don't let all this worldly stuff in the world, fool you into thinking that you all that. Because I know firsthand that everything you have and everything you know and love can be taken from you like that. So, y'all better get right with the Most High. Y'all better. Because if you don't, let me tell you something. You're going to feel it. One way or another. God has a way of sitting people down when they feeling themselves too much. And you got to look for the signs, man. You got to look for the signs. You have to be aware and cognizant of things. And look at the signs that God is giving you, man. And if you don't follow the signs, you can't blame him. You can only blame yourself. But, nobody is more powerful than the Most High, than God. Nobody is more powerful, and the wicked is falling right before our eyes. Look around. All these politicians, all these celebrities, Babylon is falling. I've mentioned this a couple of times. And I don't know what's coming next out here, but I feel like we live in the end times right now. I mean, I really do. So y'all better get right. You better get right or get left. If you can understand what I'm putting down. So you better form your connection with the Most High right now. Because if you don't come running to the Lord when it's too late. Don't come, don't come out thinking that, that you're just this, that, and the third with your chest all poked out because you got money and all of that. It's people out here with money right now that are falling in front of all of our eyes right now because they thought money would buy them out of everything. Look at what's happening to Puffy. Look at what's happening to Harvey Weinstein. Look at what's happening to Jeffrey Epstein. Look what's happening to Bill Cosby. All these people, all these great men who had money, and they were following their earthly vices. And now look at them. If you don't get right with God, you'll end up going down a path that they've gone down, which is a negative one. One filled with vices, and one that's going to ultimately lead you to slaughter. That's all I had to say for today. It's your boy Doc G out. Peace.